Oh my gosh, hey YouTube, it has been a hot minute. So let me just catch you up on what has been going on. In May, I graduated school. Over the summer, I had to study for my state boards, and I was also in the process of moving. I moved to a brand new city. I became a licensed esthetician in the state of Kentucky in July, and then in August, I got engaged. And now I've just been consumed with wedding planning and work. My life is crazy to say the least, but so many people had just come to me and been like, Morgan, like, you need to get back onto YouTube. So here I am. I'm very excited because I have several new products. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to jump into this tutorial and I hope you'll enjoy. I love you so much and I am so excited to be back. First things first. So I'm going to start with my eyes like I usually do. A lot of people at work ask me if it matters if you do your eye makeup or your face makeup first. No, it does not matter. This is just personal preference for me. It's just because I used to be really bad about blending my eyeshadow too hard and there would be all sorts of fallout. It would be really hard to clean it up if I already had my face makeup done. That's just the way I've always done it. It's become a habit to me. I don't want to break that habit, so I'm just going to continue on with that. So I am still in love with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. It's still one of my all-time faves. I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of it, but I have fallen in love with Max Paint Pot in Soft Ochre just because it's yellow base. It really cancels out the red on the lid and it just gives a nice clean base to work with. To be going in with that all over my lid, I'm just using a 217 brush. So this product will act as a primer and an eye base. The difference there is the primer is going to grab a hold of your makeup and help it last longer. The eye base is going to help the colors pop a little bit more. And as you can see, it really did a good job of just giving me a nice clean base to work with. So to just set that, I'm going to be using Orb, which is right here, just because it's literally my skin tone. You want to set this down so it won't move. It is a cream product and cream and powders do not mix very well together, so you have to go in and set all your creams and liquids with the powder before you go in with any other powders. Same thing for the face. After you get done with your liquid foundation, you go in and set it with a powder. And to set this, I'm pressing the shadow on wherever I put that paint pot, and then I'm gonna go in and swirl. You don't want to swirl initially, just because if you do without setting it, you might swirl some of that paint pot off. So now I'm going to be going in with my 3502 palette, which I am so excited about. So these colors all have names, but the sheet with the names on it is out in my car. So I will list all the colors I use down below, but for now I'm just going to be pointing. I'm going to go in with this color and let's go with this one. These are going to be my transition colors. I'm still using my 217 for those. I'm just going to be mixing. So you always want warm transition colors, just because if you were to have cool, it might look a little bit muddy. And I'm just taking these all over the crease from the outer corner to the inner corner. And you can be really messy with these. It doesn't have to be super clean. As long as they're in the crease, that's all that matters. And honestly, you could even go slightly above the crease because I'm going to be packing on a lot of color in this look. So still with the same brush, I'm going to be going in with some darker shades now. I'm going to be going in with this color and then let's go in with this color, because why not? And I literally just put the color on the tip of the brush. I don't do it on the sides because if you put it on the tip, it will literally just go right into that crease area. Now I'm going to be taking a more precise brush. I used this on my eyes when I went to work today, so this is messy, but I mean, at least you know I use it. This is the Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm going to be taking this darker red color and then these two dark red colors over here, mixing all three of them on the brush. And again, I'm just dipping the tip in. So I'm going to be doing a halo eye, I decided. I'm going to start on the outer corner and in the crease, and then just take that all over the outer corner of the eye. I'm going to be taking my transition shades that I used, just going to be putting those right on the edge of where that eyeshadow ends in the center of my eye, and this will help transition the colors to whatever color I decide to pop on the center of my lid. Do the same thing to the inner corner of my eye. So this is cute, but I want it to be more red. So I'm going to be taking, it looks like a fire truck red in person. I know it looks like orange on camera. It's not. It's real red. So I'm going to be taking this guy with my 217, just because I don't want a whole lot of it, and this is going to pick up less. Take that just over top of everything we just did. Oh yeah, this is giving me what I want right here. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing to the other eye really fast. This is what it is looking like so far. I am loving it, except it is missing something. The only thing I wish this 3502 palette had was a really rich, deep, dark purple, because I love adding those into these red eye looks that I'm doing. So I'm going to be digging into my Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. I'm going to be taking the shade Eggplant, and it is just a really, really rich, deep purple like I was describing. I don't want to show it on camera because this palette's really messy. Don't judge. I think it is going to absolutely make this look. Start on the outer crease, or outer corner of the eye. Just build it in, and then I'm going to work it into the crease a tad. So now I'm going to go back in with all those deep dark burgundy shades that I went in with on the outer and inner corner, just to make those show through a little bit more. Let me take that where the purple almost stops. Alright, I decided I wanted a little bit more of that fire truck red shade, so I'm going to go in just over top of everything I did. I'm going to take the shade called Candied Peach from the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It looks like this. On my 217, just to throw into the transition to make it a little bit more of a pinkier peach, if that makes sense at all. Yes! So now I'm very excited for this. I'm going to be taking MAC Shadow Stylishly Mary, and I'm going to be popping that in the center of my lid. So let me find that. So I'm just going to be taking my MAC 239 brush. It looks like this. It's just a flat brush. This is what I recommend for any kind of shimmer shadows, just because shimmer shadows can be a little bit messy. So you really want to be able to pack that on there. If you were to use a blending brush like this, it'll get everywhere. I'm just going to spray this with some Fix Plus just to help the shadow really stick to the brush. And it's going to foil it at the same time. I'm going to pop it in the center of my lid. So I basically just took that wherever there is blank space on my eye, and look how freaking pretty that is. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. Same thing for the other eye. Alright, so that is what it looks like when the colors are all blended together really nicely. Oh my gosh, I love this eye look so much. Now I'm just going to be taking a makeup wipe and just cleaning up any excess shadow that has fallen. Again, this is why I do eyes first. Okay, so now I'm going to be priming my face. I've got all my moisturizer on, so I'm going to go in with MAC's Natural Radiance Primer. I'm using the pink one just because I've got pink undertones. This primer is amazing. Like, I don't have any bad things to say about it. It is a primer that is made for oily / combination skin, but I have extremely dry and I can wear it. It doesn't dry me out whatsoever. It's actually really, really moisturizing, I feel like. It's also got crushed pearl in it. Not glitter like a lot of people think. It looks like it when you swatch it on your hand, but what's all over the face, I mean, it doesn't look like glitter. It's crushed pearl that's going to give the skin a little bit of a natural luminosity. So it's going to shine through the foundation, which is amazing. I'm using my MAC 170 brush. This brush does wonderful things. It's very, very dense, so it gives you a more full coverage finish, especially because product doesn't get past this dark area. So it's going to all be on your face, and I mean, it's so soft. It feels like a cloud on your face when you're blending in your foundation. And I'm using my new YSL Touche Éclat. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but that's okay. This is what it looks like. It's supposed to give you a really, really dewy finish. I personally have not really seen that much of a dewy finish, but that could just be because my skin is so dry, so it could just be soaking up a lot of the moisture. But I do like the finish, even though it's not as dewy as I would like, and I like the coverage. So I also feel like it's very, very buildable. Yeah, I would say it gives more of a satiny finish than a dewy, but I am all about the dew. Like, you could put straight oil on my face and I'd be like, nope, I need more, need more. So like I said, I feel like it gives more of a satin finish, but it feels really, really hydrating on my skin. It feels really nice. I like the finish that it gives, even though, like I said, it's not as dewy as I would like. And I do like the coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would say it's more medium than full, just because I can still see like the redness in some of my blemishes. That is okay. That's what concealer is for. Plus, I don't really want a heavy base. Like, I have been steering away from full coverage foundations lately just because, like I said, I don't want a heavy base. I want to build on top of my base. So with that being said, I'm just going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So it looks like I'm ready to go to war. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge and just start blending that out. And I'm also going to bring a little bit of that concealer up onto my nose just to slightly contour that. Alright, so now I'm going to go set my under eyes just with my MAC Pro Emphasize powder. I'm going to be using a Zoeva 114 to do that. It just looks like this. Okay, so now that my concealer is all set and ready to go, I'm going to go in and set the rest of my face. And I'm going to be using my MAC 140S brush. It looks like this. It's basically a huge fan brush, but it's meant for powder all over the face. I really, really like this brush just because it forces you to press the powder into the skin instead of swiping. And when you press, it looks a little bit more like skin. It doesn't look like it's sitting on top of your skin, and it doesn't look as powdery. I'm going to take that. Oh, and I'm using my Next to Nothing powder in light. It just looks like this. It's a very, very light coverage foundation. It's supposed to feel like it's barely there, which is great as a setting powder because we don't want that much coverage to set the entire face at all. Face is all ready to go. So now I'm going to go in and bronze. I'm going to be taking my Zoeva 126 brush. It looks like this. And I'm going to be mixing my MAC Give Me Sun with my Hoola bronzer, by Benefit, just because this is too warm tone for my skin, and Benefit's Hoola bronzer is too cool tone, so I have to mix them to get a happy medium. The way I bronze, I kind of bronze and contour together, like at the same time, so you can see where my natural cheekbone is. If I turn my head, it's right there. And I start by taking Give Me Sun right into that hollow and taking the rest of it up always want to blend up when you're contouring, just because if you were to blend down, it will make the face look wider, and that's the opposite of what we want to do. I'm going to be taking a little bit of the hula on the sides of my nose just to contour that a little bit. I'm going to be mixing the two bronzers together to add some warmth to my forehead. And I have a widow's peak, so I take my bronzer down the sides of my head and I'll take it directly onto the widow's peak. I'm going to take whatever powder is left over on this brush and just sweep it over the center of my forehead. That way it's not too bronzed. Alright, now back in with my Zoeva 114 brush. I'm going to be taking more of that Studio Fix powder. I'm just going to be carving out this contour just to make it a little bit sharper. The reason why I'm taking Studio Fix is because Studio Fix is a full coverage powder, so I don't need to bake or anything crazy like that. I can just... You see how much I already sharpened it up? Boom. Done. Same thing to the other side. So for blush, I don't really like a lot of blush on myself personally. So I like the mineralized blushes a lot just because they don't really give a lot of color to the face. Like, you won't look like a clown. So I'm going to be taking Zoeva 127 brush. I really like this just because it is really thick. So it does a great job of hugging onto the cheek. So it gives some color, but nothing overwhelming. And this also is very glowy. And then I always sweep it back into my bronzer, just for a nice even blend. Okay, now I'm going to be going in with my highlight, and I'm so excited because I get to show you all my new Sleek palette. This is the Sleek Solstice palette. It looks like this. I'm very excited. I wore it today. I liked it, but I feel like it was just a tad too frosty for me. So I'm going to be going in with my trusty champagne pop, and then I'm going to go in with this one. And the way I've been highlighting recently, I haven't been turning my head. I have been just looking straight into my mirror. So I'll look straight into the camera, and wherever my cheekbones pop out the most, I highlight there instead of looking. Because if I turn my head like this, I'll tend to put it more up here, and I want it to be more down here. To the other side. Now that that is on, I'm going to go in with my Sleek palette. Girl. Alright, so as you can see, I am glowing, and I love that about this. I just wish it wasn't as frosty. So I'm going to go back in with some more champagne pop just to warm that up a bit. I'm in love. I am in love. This is like my dream ideal highlight right here. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Champagne pop. I'm going to go in and highlight the rest of the face. Alright, so now it's time to finish up the eyes. I'm going to be taking my 217 again. I'm going to be using the dark burgundy shades. See how it's already tying it all together. It also makes my eyes look a little bit bigger, which I love. Alright, and now back in with my Precise brush here. I'm going to be going in with my Lorac palette with that purple shade. So I basically created a halo eye on my lower lash line. And now I'm going back in with my transition shades. I'm going back in with Stylishly Mary, and I'm going to pop that on the center of my lower lash line. Going back in with some Fix Plus. Alright, so now that the eyeshadow is done, I'm going to go in with some liner and lashes. For liner, I'm just using Black Track, and I'm going to be going in with my MAC 210 brush. It's this really super tiny brush. So this is what the wings look like. For lashes, I'm going to be going in with the Huda Beauty Jade lashes. Now that the lashes are on, I can go in with my lower lash line mascara. I'm just going to be using Hot and Naughty. And then I'm going to do my brows next. I'm just going to be using MAC Dusty Rose eyeshadow palette. It looks like this. I'm going to be using this shade right here, and that is called Cool Complexion. And it is a matte shade. It's very cool, so it matches my hair color fairly well. And I just use an angle brush to do this. I don't know if you can see that very well. It gives much more of a softer look to the brows while still filling them in. Just gonna fill that in. So to make the eyes pop even more, although they didn't stand out enough, I'm going to be taking Champagne Pop and just going to be putting that in the inner corner of my eyes. And then also as a brow bone highlight. So my Sleek highlighting palette came with this metal metallic liquid lipstick, or a metallic matte lip cream. So I'm going to go in with this and see what it looks like. I have not used this yet, so we shall see. Ooh. Yeah, it definitely feels creamy on the lips. Okay, so at first I didn't think it had much pigmentation to it at all, but as it's drying down, it's getting shinier. And it has a little bit more pigmentation. Since I built it up, definitely doesn't feel like a matte. Like, I know it's drying down matte, but it feels like what it is, a lip cream. So that's nice. So it is completely dry now. You can see it moves. So I don't care for this product as much as I love the highlighting palette, just because it really emphasizes the cracks in my lips and it makes them look really dry. A lot of my matte lipsticks don't do that. So what I'm going to do, this is just my Taraji lip gloss. It's like a gold. I'm going to go right on top of that. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Alright, I feel much more hydrated now. And it looks a lot better. So I'm going to stick with this. So last but not least, I'm going to just spray all over with some Fix Plus, and that completes this look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad to be back. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. Bear with me, guys. I'm super busy. But I love you all. Thank you for watching and being so patient with me, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!